Oh, hey there. I was just taking my daily break from work to think about the fall of the Roman Empire. You know, as men do. Speaking of men, I hear there is this movie film called Fight Club, and the internet can't decide its meaning or something. And speaking of Fight Club, I've always said there are two kinds of people in the world. The first are people who were in high school in the mid-2000s that thought Fight Club, Donnie Darko, and Requiem for a Dream were the greatest movies in the world. And the second are people who didn't get addicted to drugs. I was in the first group. Anyway, Fight Club is one of these movies that I can't watch anymore because I watched it so many times as an angsty teenager that I was able to quote the whole movie. Watching it now just reminds me of being that angsty, angry teenager, and I just cringe. I cringe so hard. I tried watching it for the first time in I think over 15 years to make this video, and I couldn't finish it because I was just cringing so hard at the person I used to be. It's also a movie that seems to be the most, or at least one of the most misunderstood and misrepresented movies I think I've seen on the internet. But before we go further, let's briefly go over the characters and the plot. This is the narrator, or otherwise known as Jack. Jack suffers from insomnia and a general malaise brought on by the consumerist culture that we all live in.
Like so many others, I had become a slave to the IKEA nesting instinct.
Yes, I'd like to order the Erica Picari dust ruffles.
Please hold.
If I saw something clever, like a little coffee table in the shape of a yin-yang, I had to have it.
Jack has built his entire identity around the things he owns, his job, and his vapid sense of cleverness.
How's that working out for you? What? Being clever?
To deal with his general dissatisfaction with life, he starts going to support groups for different diseases and health conditions he doesn't have.
My name is Bob.
Bob,
He does this so he can feel something for the first time, so he can feel heard and feel seen by other human beings.
And then, something happened. I let go.
people think you're dying, man. They really, really listen to you instead of just
waiting for their turn to speak.
At these support groups, he meets Marla. Marla is also attending support groups for diseases she doesn't have.
No, I want bowel cancer.
That's your favorite too. Try to slip it by me, eh?
Look, we're gonna split it, okay? Take the first and third Sunday of the month.
Deal.
Unlike Jack, though, she in general embraces the suckiness of her life, for better or worse.
Food to Mrs. Hanover, Mrs. Raines. Where are they, exactly?
Tragically, they're dead. I'm alive and I'm in poverty. You want any?
Marla's philosophy of life was that she might die at any moment. The tragedy, she said, was that she didn't.
To gloss over some plot points here, Jack meets Tyler. Tyler is what every millennial guy wanted to be as a teenager.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Let me tell you a little bit about Tyler Durden.
Jack's apartment blows up.
Or when a volcanic blast of debris that used to be your furniture and personal effects blows out of your floor-to-ceiling windows and sails flaming into the night. How embarrassing. A house full of condiments and no food.
They start Fight Club, which is an underground men's support group where they touch each other. Fight Club quickly turns into a terrorist organization and they blow up credit card companies in half of Miami. But in the end, Jack understands that the self-destructive course he is on will do nothing to solve his problems or cure his general malaise and dissatisfaction with society and life. At least in the movie, he finds that what will cure his woes is healthy human relationships, in this case with Marla.
Is that I really like you, Marla.
You do?
I really do. I care about you, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you because of me. My name is Bob.
Bob.
Bob had been a champion bodybuilder.
Get away from him! What are you talking about? This isn't a piece of evidence. This is a person. He's a friend of mine, and you're not gonna bury him in the garden.
He was killed serving Project Mayhem, sir.
This is Bob. Listen to me. This is a man, and he has a name. And it's Robert Paulson. He's dead now because of us, all right? Do you understand that?
Security, maintenance, all our people. We're not killing anyone, man. We're setting them free.
Bob is dead. They shot him in the head.
And oh yeah, Tyler's not real. He's Jack's imaginary alter ego, but Jack doesn't know that till the end of the movie.
Because we're the same person. You're just letting yourself become Tyler Durden.
Also, Jack blew up his own apartment.
Why do you think I blew up your condo?
Fight Club is a truly fascinating and deep movie in a way that me as an angsty, angry teenager would find deep and meaningful. But there's something about this movie specifically that has caused people to run away with whatever meaning there is to it, to, dare I say, insanity.
Excellent choice, sir. Hey, watch out, jackass!
Which brings me to the concept known as the death of the author. This is a concept popularized by French literary critic Roland Barthes. I probably did not pronounce that right. This concept essentially means once a work of art is released and whatever meaning or intention the author may have tried to infuse into said work is out of the author's hands, and its meaning comes from our individual perceptions of what we think the work means based on our own experiences in life. As they say, art is not what it is, but how it makes you feel. I don't know if they say that. Do they say that? Maybe they don't say that. I'm just insane. Which I am. Anyway, in the case of Fight Club, I think the reason why the internet has ran rampant with discussing its meaning is because the concept of self-destruction is at the core of Fight Club. And the concept of self-destruction is so universal and uniquely human that we can't help put ourselves in Jack's shoes. Which fundamentally is what the story is about at its core. It's about a man self-destructing and blowing his own life up, literally, to feel anything. And to escape the existential fear of being nothing other than what he is in this world.
First you have to know, not fear, know that someday you're gonna die.
You don't know how this feels.
It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything.
I think it's a fear that we can all relate to. And to quote the author, Chuck Palahniuk, he said, "It's more about the terror you were going to live and die without understanding anything important about yourself."
Hey, watch out, jackass!
See, the essence of Fight Club is really about chasing down different ways of feeling, and in the extreme case of Fight Club, physical violence and chaos is a cure to our woes. To feel uniquely special and enlightened.
I got right in everyone's hostile little face. Yes, these are bruises from fighting. Yes, I'm comfortable with that. I am enlightened.
Or above the average sheeple that inhabit this world with us. It's something we all do in our own way. Fight Club just takes it to an extreme to show the futility of it. And a lot of us know what it's like to want to blow our lives up out of dissatisfaction.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time. You wake up at Air Harbor International.
And some of us have actually done it. Myself included. And we all know what it's like to just want to feel an adrenaline rush of danger just to feel alive. For instance, have you ever thought of swerving into oncoming traffic, or jumping from a high place, or engaging in dangerous activities you otherwise wouldn't have? Well, I have a French word for you that I cannot pronounce, but in English it's called the call of the void. It's a psychological phenomenon where we have fleeting thoughts of putting ourselves in danger. Some scientists think this phenomenon is our brain testing its instincts against danger and testing us to see if we are in fact still sane. There are a lot of parallels to this concept in Fight Club. Other than literally driving into oncoming traffic,
I have to know the answer to this question. If you were to die right now, how would you feel about your life?
I don't know. I wouldn't feel anything good about my life. Is that what you want to hear me say? Fine. Come on.
Not good enough.
Tyler!
Stop trying to control everything and just let go.
Tyler Durden's entire character is just raw being who is taking our narrator on a horribly destructive ride to feel alive, to feel something other than the suffocating feeling that the modern world, wrapped it by its vapid consumerism, has heaped on all of us. He aims to push Jack into letting go of society in order to free himself from his existential dread and to feel something, anything.
Excellent choice, sir. Hey, watch out, jackass! Come on!
Now, this is not as easy as it sounds.
Let go!
All right, fine.
Fight Club as a story, in a lot of ways, also has a lot of mighty parallels to addiction. More than just the support groups. And somebody who has been sober for 7 years, I feel like I can speak on this. I mean, if you replace the character of Tyler Durden with any addictive substance, the story makes sense, still, if not more sense. You get that first hit and it makes you feel alive for the first time.
You hear me now? No, I didn't quite catch that, Lou.
Then you want more.
Still not getting it.
Okay, I got it.
And more.
Shit, I lost it.
And more, until you end up destroying yourself and everything around you.
That's fucking funny. You don't know where I've been, Lou. Oh my God. You don't know where I've been.
Or in the narrator's case, you blow up half of Miami. I say this to illustrate the futility in Tyler's philosophy in nihilistically chasing down chaos and answering the call of the void anywhere he may find it, to soothe the burning feeling of rage and terror of the world that lives deep in his soul. But I think that's what makes Tyler Durden such an appealing character, especially to young men. He was to me. Tyler doesn't live by the same rules and social conventions we live in. To him, the world is a feminized, neutered world that a man like him has no interest in. The problem with that, though, is the fact of the matter is that he is not the only person living in this world. He is not the only person who gets to dictate the way in which the world operates.
Security, maintenance, all our people. We're not killing anyone, man. We're setting them free.
Bob is dead. They shot him in the head.
You want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs.
No, I'm not listening to you. You're not even there.
And it's a selfish way to operate because it's entirely based on his subjective experiences about how he or anyone else should be in this world. We can be mad at the world. We can hate it for what it's turned into. We can hate it for what it's done to us. We can resent it for how our lives have ended up. But all that anger and all that rage will only destroy us in the end. Which is kind of the point of the whole story, because in the end, all of that anger and all of that rage will only lead to more self-destruction, to the point where it has dire consequences not only for Jack, but for everyone else in his life. It's the universal experience that through self-destruction, chaos, and adrenaline, we can feel alive in ways that engaging with reality and society for what they are will not allow us to. That is what makes Tyler such an appealing character. But much like with addiction, and I can't think of a more adequate analogy or metaphor to use here, if we were to take Alcoholics Anonymous' word for it, which some of you don't, but let's pretend we do for a second, if we were to take AA's word for it, we drink, fight, yell, scream, or chase down any and all chaos we can get our hands on because we simply cannot cope with reality on reality's terms. We, like Tyler Durden, become the embodiment of chaos and destruction and commit to that bit until it destroys us and everyone around us. But much like with Fight Club, the moral to the story, the thing that will actually heal us is genuine human, authentic relationships.
My name is Bob. Bob.
And when we can do that and attain those, we can be as calm as Hindu cows.
Blank faces, calm as Hindu cows.
Although this is just my personal experiences that I'm projecting onto the author's work. Chuck Palahniuk may not be dead, but if we are to believe in the dead author theory, then I have to say to him, stop trying to control everything and just let go.
Hey, watch out, jackass!
How's that working out for you?
What?
Being clever.